The next section of our teaching is the power of imagination. Our title today is Why Imagination Shapes Behavior More Than Logic. I repeat, why imagination shapes behavior more than logic. Most people believe the mind is driven by logic, that if you understand something clearly enough, your behavior will naturally follow. But this assumption is quietly responsible why changes fail. The mind does not respond primarily to logic, it responds to imagery, the inner picture. Long before language, rules, or reasoning, the human mind learns through pictures. And that system never disappears, it becomes internal. Every moment, your mind is generating images, not always visual, but sensory representation of how things feels, unfold, or end. These images are not decorations, they are instructions. The nervous system reacts to imagined scenarios in almost the same way it reacts to real ones. This is why a thought can raise your heartbeat. Why anticipation creates tensions. This is why memory triggers emotion. The body does not wait for proof. It responds to mental representation. This explains why knowing what to do is not the same as doing it. Logic can inform behavior, but imagery programs it. When the mind holds a consistent internal picture, behavior aligns with it automatically. Not through effort, but through familiarity. This is why fear is powerful. Fear is not caused by events. It is caused by imagined outcomes. And once an image is accepted internally, the nervous system treats it as real. This is also why confidence cannot be forced. Confidence is not a thought, it is an internal picture of yourself functioning successfully. Without that picture, words feels hollow. The mind ignores what it cannot imagine. I repeat, the mind ignores what it cannot imagine. This is where most personal change attempt fails. People speak to the mind in language, but the mind listens to images. They repeat statements while holding contradictory pictures, and the picture wins. Because imagery is the mind's native language. I repeat again, imagery is the mind's native language. Every habit, reaction, and pattern begins as an internal image of what is expected. You act not towards what you want, but towards what you anticipate. Anticipation is image-based. I repeat, anticipation is image-based. When you anticipate failure, your behavior subtly prepares for it. When you anticipate difficulty, your body tightens before action begins. This is not conscious, it is automatic. And it is why imagination is not fantasy. It is a control system. I repeat, imagination is not fantasy. It is a control system. The mind uses imagination to stimulate outcome before committing energy. Whichever image feels more familiar becomes the default direction. This is why repeated exposure matters. The image you return to, intentionally or unintentionally, shapes what feels normal. And what feels normal requires no motivation. Understanding this changes how you see effort. Effort is required only when behavior contradicts internal imagery. I repeat, effort is required only when behavior contradicts internal imagery. When the two aligns, action feels natural, not exciting, not dramatic, but natural. This is the quiet mechanism behind consistency, not discipline, not pressure, internal alignment. Once you recognize imagination as the primary driver, you stop fighting the mind. You stop arguing with it, and you begin observing the images that quietly guide your behavior. Not to change them yet, just to see them, because awareness is the first shift. And in the next video, We will explore how repeated mental pictures do not just influence behavior, they become it. If this perspective clarifies something for you, like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The next part explains how internal images turn into real behavior. This is Wake Up Call. Peace.